Welcome back to the channel. If you like the video, please like, share, and sub. Let's get back to the video. Chapter 4. A Fleet of Fancy Cars. The next morning, Chen awoke to the sound of birds chirping outside his window and the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. He stretched luxuriously, still marveling at the grandeur of the master bedroom. After a leisurely breakfast prepared by Chef Tony, Tom decided to explore another part of his great-uncle's legacy, the garage. Tom made his way through the mansion's sprawling corridors, eventually reaching a set of heavy wooden doors. He pushed them open and stepped into the garage, stopping in his tracks as he took in the sight before him. It was more of a showroom than a garage, with polished floors, high ceilings, and sleek spotlights illuminating a collection of the world's most luxurious cars. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, and more were lined up in perfect rows, their shiny exteriors gleaming under the lights. Tom felt a rush of excitement and trepidation. He had never been much of a car enthusiast, but the sight of these magnificent machines was enough to quicken his pulse. Mr. Liu, the reserve driver, appeared at Tom's side, holding a set of keys. "Good morning, Mr. Chen," he said with a polite nod. "Would you like to take one of the cars for a drive?" "Absolutely," Tom replied, trying to sound confident despite his nervousness. "Which one do you recommend?" Mr. Liu considered for a moment before selecting a sleek, red Ferrari. "This one is a good starting point. It's powerful, but not overly challenging to handle." Tom took the keys and approached the car, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and anxiety. He opened the door and slid into the driver's seat, feeling the supple leather beneath him. The dashboard was a bewildering array of buttons and screens, but he took a deep breath and tried to focus. Mr. Liu climbed into the passenger seat, offering guidance as Tom familiarized himself with the controls. "Take your time, Mr. Chen. There's no rush." Tom started the engine, and the Ferrari roared to life, the sound reverberating through the garage. He gripped the steering wheel and took a moment to steady his nerves before gently pressing the accelerator. The car glided forward smoothly, and Tom felt a thrill of exhilaration. As he drove down the long, tree-lined driveway, Tom began to relax and enjoy the experience. The Ferrari responded effortlessly to his touch, and he couldn't help but smile. The open road beckoned, and Tom decided to take the car for a spin around the countryside. The drive started off well. Tom reveled in the car's power and the freedom of the open road. However, his inexperience soon became apparent. He struggled with the car's responsiveness, oversteering on turns and misjudging the power of the brakes. He narrowly avoided a collision with a delivery truck and accidentally veered off the road, kicking up a cloud of dust and startling a flock of birds. Mr. Liu remained calm throughout, offering gentle corrections and advice. "Try to ease into the turns, Mr. Chen. And remember, it's all about control." Tom nodded, his face flushed with embarrassment. "Sorry about that. I'm not exactly a pro at this." "You're doing fine," Mr. Liu reassured him. "It takes practice." Despite the mishaps, Tom found himself enjoying the drive. He began to get a feel for the car, and his confidence grew with each passing mile. They drove through picturesque countryside, past rolling hills and quaint villages, the wind whipping through the open windows. Eventually, Tom decided to head back to the mansion. As they approached the gates, he felt a surge of accomplishment. He had taken a significant step towards embracing his new life, even if it had been a bumpy ride. Back in the garage, Tom parked the Ferrari and turned off the engine, his hand still trembling slightly. "Thanks for your help, Mr. Liu," he said, handing over the keys. "You're welcome, Mr. Chen. You're improving already," Mr. Liu replied with a rare smile. Tom left the garage feeling both exhilarated and exhausted. He made his way to the mansion's library, where he found a comfortable chair and settled in with a book. As he read, his thoughts drifted back to the drive. He had a lot to learn, but he was determined to master his new life, one step at a time. The day ended with Tom joining the staff for dinner, sharing stories of his adventure. They laughed at his near miss with the delivery truck and his unintentional detour. Despite the challenges, Tom felt a growing sense of belonging. He was starting to see the mansion not just as a house, but as a home. As he lay in bed that night, Tom reflected on the day's events. He had faced his fears, made new memories, and taken another step towards embracing his great-uncle's legacy. With a smile, he drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the adventures yet to come. Chapter 5. Meeting the Staff. Tom Chen woke up feeling surprisingly at ease. It had been a whirlwind few days since inheriting his great-uncle's estate, but he was beginning to settle into his new life. Determined to get to know the people who ran the mansion, Tom decided to hold a casual get-together with the staff. Tom spent the morning preparing for the gathering. With the help of Mrs. Zhang, the housekeeper, he arranged a selection of snacks and drinks in the grand hall. The room was stunning, with high ceilings, elegant chandeliers, and large windows that let in plenty of natural light. Tom hoped the setting would help put everyone at ease. As the clock struck 2, the staff began to arrive. Tom greeted each person warmly, trying to remember their names and roles. Mr. Li, the head butler, arrived first, followed by Mrs. Zhang. Chef Tony, the eccentric Italian chef, strolled in with a flourish, carrying a tray of his latest culinary creation. Mr. Wang, the chatty gardener, and Mr. Liu, the reserve driver, rounded out the group. Tom took a deep breath and addressed them. "Thank you all for coming. I know this is a bit unusual, but I want to take the opportunity to get to know each of you better. Please, help yourselves to the refreshments and make yourselves comfortable." The staff exchanged curious glances before helping themselves to the snacks and drinks. Tom watched as they began to relax, chatting and laughing together. He joined the conversation, eager to learn more about the people who had been running his great-uncle's estate. Mrs. Zhang was the first to speak up. "Mr. Chen, it's very kind of you to do this. We've been working here for many years, and it's nice to have a chance to get to know our new employer." "Please, call me Tom," he said with a smile. "I want us to be on a first-name basis. After all, we're all part of the same team." Chef Tony grinned. "I like that, Tom. It's a refreshing change. So, what do you think of the mansion so far?" "It's incredible," Tom replied. "But honestly, it's also a bit overwhelming. There's so much to learn and get used to." Mr. Wang nodded sympathetically. "I can imagine. It took me years to learn all the ins and outs of the gardens alone. But don't worry, we're here to help you every step of the way." The conversation flowed naturally, with each staff member sharing stories about their time at the mansion and their interactions with Tom's great-uncle. Tom listened intently, feeling a growing sense of camaraderie and respect for these dedicated individuals. Mr. Li cleared his throat and spoke up. "Mr. Chen, Tom, I must say, your great-uncle was a remarkable man. He had a way of making each of us feel valued and appreciated. I can see you have that same quality, and I believe you will make an excellent master of this estate." Tom felt a warm flush of gratitude. "Thank you, Mr. Li. That means a lot to me. I have big shoes to fill, but I promise to do my best." As the afternoon went on, Tom felt increasingly comfortable in the company of his new staff. They laughed and shared stories, and Tom even joined Chef Tony in the kitchen to help prepare a batch of cookies. It was a comical sight, with Tom fumbling with the ingredients while Chef Tony guided him with exaggerated patience. The cookies turned out surprisingly well, and the group enjoyed them together, adding another layer of warmth to the gathering. As the sun began to set, Tom stood up and addressed everyone once more. "I just want to say thank you to all of you. You made me feel welcome and supported, and I'm truly grateful for that. I know we have a lot of work ahead of us, but I'm excited to face it together as a team." The staff applauded, and Tom felt a surge of pride and happiness. He had taken another important step in his journey, building meaningful relationships with the people who would help him navigate his new life. As the evening drew to a close, the staff began to leave, each expressing their gratitude and encouragement. Tom watched them go, feeling a sense of contentment and belonging. The mansion was starting to feel less like a foreign palace and more like a home, thanks to the warmth and dedication of the people around him. Tom retired to his bedroom, exhausted but happy. He had faced many challenges and uncertainties in the past few days, but he was beginning to see the potential for a fulfilling and meaningful life ahead. With the support of his new friends, Tom knew he could handle whatever came his way. As he lay in bed, Tom thought about his great-uncle Henry. He still had many questions about the man who had left him this incredible legacy, but he felt confident that he was on the right path. With a smile on his face and a sense of anticipation for the future, Tom drifted off to sleep, ready for the adventures that lay ahead. Chapter 6. learning the ropes. Tom Chun woke up with a sense of purpose. He had spent the past few days getting to know the mansion and the staff, but today was different. Today, he was going to dive into the business empire he had inherited. Tom knew it was going to be a daunting task, but he was ready to take it on. After a quick breakfast, Tom headed to his great-uncle's study, where he was meeting Mr. Zhang, the financial advisor who had been with his great-uncle for decades. Tom felt a mix of excitement and anxiety as he entered the room. The study was filled with dark wood furniture, shelves lined with books, and an imposing desk that had once been his great-uncle's command center. Mr. Zhang, a distinguished man in his late 50s with graying hair and sharp eyes, greeted Tom with a warm smile. "Good morning, Mr. Chun. It's a pleasure to meet you. Please call me David." "Nice to meet you, David. And please call me Tom," he replied, shaking David's hand firmly. They sat down at the large desk, and David began to lay out various documents, charts, and graphs. "Your great-uncle built quite a diverse portfolio. We have investments in real estate, tech startups, manufacturing, and even a few entertainment ventures." Tom nodded, trying to absorb the information. "It sounds impressive. I'll be honest, though, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. There's so much to learn." "That's understandable," David said with a reassuring smile. "But remember, you're not alone in this. I'm here to help you, and you have a team of experienced professionals to support you. Let's start with an overview." David walked Tom through the various aspects of the empire. He explained the major investments, highlighting key assets and their performance. Tom listened intently, asking questions and taking notes. He learned about the different properties they owned, from high-end commercial buildings in downtown districts to sprawling residential complexes in the suburbs. The tech startups were particularly intriguing, with innovative projects in AI, renewable energy, and biotechnology. As the hours passed, Tom began to get a clearer picture of the vast network he now controlled. It was both exhilarating and intimidating. He realized that while his great-uncle had built an impressive empire, maintaining and growing it would require dedication and strategic thinking. "I can see why my great-uncle trusted you with all of this," Tom said, genuinely impressed. "You have a deep understanding of every aspect." "Thank you, Tom. Your great-uncle was a visionary, and he surrounded himself with capable people. He always believed in nurturing talent and staying ahead of the curve," David replied. "Speaking of which, I'd like to introduce you to some key members of our team." David called in a few individuals who managed different sectors of the business. There was Lisa, the head of real estate, who had a sharp eye for profitable deals. Mark, the tech guru, whose enthusiasm for innovation was infectious. And Sarah, the financial analyst, whose meticulous attention to detail ensured the stability of their investments. Each person gave a brief overview of their responsibilities and current projects. Tom was impressed by their expertise and felt a growing sense of confidence. He realized that he didn't need to know everything right away. He had a strong team to help him navigate this complex world. After the introductions, David suggested they take a break. They moved to the mansion's elegant dining room, where Chef Tony had prepared a light lunch. Over sandwiches and salads, the conversation turned more casual. "Tom, your great-uncle always enjoyed discussing ideas over meals. He believed that some of the best decisions were made in relaxed settings," David said. Tom smiled. "I like that approach. It's important to keep things human and not just focus on the numbers." As they finished their meal, David leaned back in his chair. "Tom, I can see you have the right mindset for this. It will take time, but I'm confident you'll do well. I'd be honored to mentor you and help you learn the ropes." "I'd really appreciate that, David. There's so much to take in, but I'm committed to making this work. I want to honor my great-uncle's legacy and build something meaningful," Tom replied with determination. They returned to the study, diving back into the intricacies of the business. David explained the importance of diversification, risk management, and staying informed about market trends. Tom soaked up the knowledge, grateful for David's patient guidance. By the end of the day, Tom felt mentally exhausted but also energized. He had taken the first steps towards understanding the vast empire he now controlled. There was still a long road ahead, but with David's mentorship and the support of his team, Tom felt ready to tackle the challenges. As he left the study, Tom paused to look at a portrait of his great-uncle hanging on the wall. "Thank you, Uncle Henry," he whispered. "I'll make sure your legacy lives on." Tom walked through the mansion, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. He was no longer just a bewildered heir. He was the head of a business empire, ready to learn, grow, and succeed. With a determined smile, Tom looked forward to the future and the adventures that lay ahead.